Ms. Mays.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to our witnesses who are testifying today. I want to thank each of you for being here to discuss a topic of grave importance to our national security. Earlier this year, a Chinese spy balloon was shot down off the coast of my home state of South Carolina. Since the Roswell incident in 1947, many Americans have wondered about the dangers of unknown objects crisscrossing our skies. Whether these are UAPs or weather phenomena, advanced technology from American allied or enemy forces, or something more out of this world. So my first question, I have several questions, and if we could just be quick on these first two, I'm going to ask each of you the same question, and then I'll get to each of you individually. The first one, when you reported your experiences with a UAP, did any of you face any repercussions with your superiors, yes or no?
No.
No. I've actually never seen anything personally, believe it or not. So.
All right. And then do you believe there's an active disinformation campaign within our government to deny existence of UAPs, yes or no?
I don't have an answer to that.
As previously stated publicly, yes.
I think previously with like Project Blue Book, yes, but currently I don't speak for the United States government.
Okay, thank you. I have a few questions for Mr. Graves. What percentage of UAP sightings, in your belief, go unreported by our pilots?
This is an approximation based off of my personal experience speaking with a number of pilots, but I would estimate we're somewhere near 5% reporting perhaps.
So like 95% basically don't report seeing UAPs.
That's just my personal estimate.
In the incident off Virginia Beach, do you believe the Navy took the danger to your aircraft seriously after it was reported?
Absolutely.
A few questions for Mr. Favor. As an expert naval aviator, have you ever seen an object that looked and moved like the Tic Tac UAP?
No.
Did the Tic Tac UAP move in such a way that defied the laws of physics?
The way we understand them, yes.
Many dismiss UAP reports as classified weapons testing by our own government, but in your experience as a pilot, does our government typically test advanced weapon systems right next to multi-million-dollar jets without informing our pilots?
No, we have test ranges for that.
It took over 15 years for your encounter with the Tic Tac to be declassified. Do you feel there was a good reason to prevent lawmakers from having access to this footage?
No, I just think it was ignored when it happened, and it just sat somewhere in a file. Never got reported.
In a drawer. It happens a lot up here. Shocker. Mr. Grush, a couple of questions for you too, sir, this morning. What percentage of UAPs do you feel are adequately investigated by the U.S. government? Of the 5% that are reported.
I can only speak for my personal leadership over at NGA. I tried to look at every report that came through that I could triage, so.
Do you believe that officials at the highest levels of our national security apparatus have unlawfully withheld information from Congress and subverted our oversight authority?
There are certain elected leaders that had more information that I'm not sure what they've shared with certain Gang of Eight members or et cetera, but certainly I would not be surprised.
Okay. You've stated that the government is in possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super. Thank you. And I yield back.
An honor at any time anyone is willing to listen to this bizarre and incredible journey and investigation. And I am honored to be on your show and able to tell your viewers and listeners my journey and expose without a doubt the greatest cover up in human history.
So we're going to show this film in a minute, and it's about 2 minutes and 57 seconds long, this film from 1997. We're going to walk through it, and you're going to explain to our viewers exactly what we're seeing. But I do want to provide some context here on how this film came to be, how you got your hands on this film, and the cover-up surrounding this film. So how did you first learn about this interrogation that took place at 1997 at the S2 facility?
When you order from Domino's, you can get more than just pizza for $6.99 each. You can get specialty chicken, savory pastas, oven-baked Parmesan bread bites, molten lava crunch cakes, and yes, medium 2-topping pizzas as well. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
These news stories about UFO sightings are a giant distraction. They are trying to distract the public from what's really going on behind.
Like most people back in 1997, this was part of, or this was a documentary that came out, and I was living this baller lifestyle. I had a black Porsche, a powerboat on Lake Michigan, living in the 36th floor of one of the hottest real estate markets and areas in Chicago. And I say that not to impress anybody, but to impress upon people. I go to sit down and watch this documentary thinking alien interview. This is going to be like a weird humanoid looking person handing a clipboard over to a general at the Pentagon for a job interview. I mean, this is how my brain was thinking. And I'm sitting down, and 30 minutes into this documentary, this footage comes on. It's not professionally done. It doesn't have any cuts. There's people in the foreshadow. This gray alien is bone color, bone, like human bone. It's got round eyes, not almond shaped eyes. If I'm hoaxing a video of a gray alien, it's going to be gray, and it's going to have the typical almond eyes. And this bizarre physiological monitor next to the beam that goes up and down and not across the screen. And then Victor, the alleged whistleblower who claimed to have helped smuggle this out of Area 51, that's the way insiders talk of Area 51. And I had a psychologist tell me that I've probably encountered 10,000 people in my life with wrestling and, in the automobile industry and in politics. I've never heard anyone this intelligent in my life. And I don't think a 23-year-old screenwriter in 96 could have made up this script that Victor was talking about. I mean, the vernacular he used was bizarre. And he used a term called medical flagging. The creature starts to medically flag. And I asked my old doctor, who was about 65 years old at the time in 97, on my annual checkup, I said, "What is medically flagging?" He looked at me, he goes, "Where did you hear that from? That's like a Army medical term we used in the 50s and 60s. I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? And then there was some weird an acronym on the bottom, DNI, David November Igloo /27. And Victor tells us that was the Department of Naval Intelligence. So I run for Congress 2 years later with this film in the back of my mind going, what is going on here? And I don't want to say his name anymore because I'm getting admonished for doing so, but I was on a political bus tour, and I went up to a senator during a break, and who has passed away now. And I said, "Senator, what is the Department of Naval Intelligence?" And Clayton, you look in my eyes. This guy went from jovial, happy senator to this aggressive look. And he looked at me, he goes, "You don't need to know anything about that." And he stormed off, and he never talked to me the rest of the tour, which was a weekend. And I'm thinking to myself, and Clayton, you're a journalist, you're an investigative reporter too. I'm thinking, wait a minute. I got a hoaxed video with medical terminology from 50s and 60s. I've got a gray alien that's tan and round eyes, medical staff that are in short sleeve scrubs and not in biohazard suits to really hype up the video. I've got a monitor that I have never seen in 35 years of my life back then. And I've got 3 letters on this hoaxed video that has just pissed off a United States senator. What in God's name is going on with this film?
I think we probably we've let our audience wait long enough, but I absolutely wanted to
Absolutely.
provide the deep context on this film, so that you're not just watching this film without any context and knowing the names of the individuals who were in the room, people who were there at the time, and the verification of that, all of that processing there. The New York Times piece of this, them saying, "We believe you, we believe the veracity of this." So you have all of that. Now, let's play the film. So here it is. This is, again, it's silence. There's no audio on this. What are we looking at here as we play this film? What are we seeing on our screen, John?
Okay. Contrary to Victor's voiceover, this is a film shot April of 1991, a thought projection interview of a other gray, designated an other gray, an extraterrestrial biological entity. He is a haploid, which means he came with only one sexual chromosome. Human beings are diploids. For any microbiologists out there, if I'm hatcheting those words, I'm sorry. But this being had only one sexual chromosome. He came to the S2 alpha, the official designation of the underground facility that housed the alien interrogation and retention program. That's the unofficial name of what this was. They call these interview suites the ambassador suites because the government did try for the care and did treat these and look at these beings, and still do, as ambassadors from other planets and other dimensions. And if you hear David Grush coughing on his words, it's because he doesn't want to tell you that some of these beings are from other dimensions. And so this being was very ill at the time. He had a respiratory issue. Now, Sean David Morton also heard, I can't verify this veracity, that it's some sort of debilitation or disease with its heart-lung sac. It does not have a traditional heart. It's got a heart-lung one sac, which was the need for the special monitor, which goes up and down, does not go across, to monitor this bizarre heart-lung one sac organ that the alien has. And behind the viewing glass were 5 men, 2 telepaths. There is a researcher out there, and I don't doubt it. And because I've seen the outline of the figure, and I didn't catch this, and someone else did, so I'm crediting them. I don't ever want to not credit other people. That Colin Powell was in that interview room. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I can't verify it, but it certainly looks like the outline of him. It looks like an African-American male in his 50s wearing an Army Class A dress uniform. Funny, the Rear Admiral that was on my list was the person that reported intelligence to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Interesting. But that's how bizarre this film has gotten. And I'm not even going to tell you anything about the telepaths because I don't want it to get into the Da Vinci Code. But even Doty said that the telepathic program, the people they hired, was ridiculous. They were like one step above 1-800 psychics back in the 80s and 90s. But there was 2 men in particular that were very in touch with these beings, and they would sit down with these aliens and these beings and immediately get information and relate it back to whatever military person was in the room. As you can see on the tape, the being eventually starts to medically flag, if I can use the whistleblower Victor's terminology, and he is then attended to by the medical staff. And Victor tells us that the medical staff in S2 and S4, are more chosen for their ability to keep secrets than their medical.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Bahashem is to say in the name, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. UFOs, angels, aliens, and Esaw's lies. UFOs, alien interrogation, Esaw's lies. Just to give you a backdrop of the two videos that were played that ran in together. The first video is pertaining to a whistleblower who they have in Congress are having a meeting on UFO sightings, and this whistleblower claims to have information on, UFOs, and he was given this information from pilots who firsthand had knowledge and encounters with these UFOs. So this man is brought in front of Congress to testify on these pilots' behalf, and one of the pilots is sitting to his left or right, and he was asked a question, and he testified under oath, which to Esau Edom, that doesn't mean anything because they wasn't given the word, and they don't believe in the word. So for them to make an oath or swear on the Bible, it's nothing for them to lie. So the pilot says, he had firsthand knowledge and experience of, interacting with these UFOs. And if you go to, any video, or you go on YouTube and you type in Tic Tac UFO, you'll see one of the videos of a pilot that's engaged with a UFO in the shape of a tic tac, and then you have another one which I believe they named the gimbal UFO, which shows another UFO from a pilot who's engaged with this UFO. And those sightings are of the chariots, but they call them the UFOs. But the account and the truth from what this whistleblower is bringing forth is complete and utter nonsense. Although he gives you, somewhat of a truthful encounter, or an truthful and detailed enactment of what happened, as far as the pilot encountering the UFOs, which are the chariots of the Most High, he goes off and says that, and this is what you see in the second video, that they recover from one of the UFOs at a crash site 4 aliens that were, driving or guiding the what they call unidentified flying object, but now they switch it up to a UAP, unidentified aerial something other, but they're the chariots of the Most High. So he says that this is what you see in the second video, man. And this is why you can't trust Esaw Edom, man, because they full of it. Not only do they swear on the Bible, which has nothing to do with them, but then they go and, like they did with the image of our Lord and Savior and the rest of our prophets, they go and they try to, render it and put it in something other than what it says in the Bible, what the angels look like. And then they give the angels a name under the term alien. So they try to switch everything up, man. And this is why they known as the devil, because they deceive, So getting back to the second video, you see this so-called alien, which they trying to insinuate that it's an angel that pilot the spacecraft that crafted, in one of these deserts, and they recovered, four of these aliens, which they trying to say are angels that, pilot this spacecraft, that they was able to keep one. And this one that you see being interrogated, allegedly, if you continue to watch the full video, they was able to keep him, on ice per se for 4 years. So they studied this alien for 4 years, and upon receiving or taking him out of the craft at the crash site, they had to put him on this type of ventilator, because they claim this being from another galaxy that's traveled through however many light years to come here on this planet Earth, received a respiratory failure somehow, some way. So they had to monitor his heart, and that's what you see with that green light that's going up and down. So you see Esaw Edom, man, he tried his best to discredit the word, man. Even when he's supposed to use the word to stand on it, to tell the truth, he in himself is found to be a liar, you know? So yeah, the chariots, which they call UFOs, do exist, but what they found at a crash site that they claim is an alien, that they trying to say indirectly, you know, but not directly, that is an angel, that's bull crap, because that's not what the angels look like. Neither when they come down as a man or in their natural form. They don't look like that. And we're going to get scriptures to back that up. So you see Esaw Edom at his worst trying to discredit this truth, because he see, and he can't deny it anymore, that this truth is going out full volume, and he's seeing these chariots of the Most High appear, you know, all over the world. So he got to scramble and to make up whatever type of tacky story that he can. Oh, we recovered one of the crafts at a crash site, and out of that crash site, we recovered 4 aliens, and one of them we was able to keep alive for 4 years to interrogate and to get information and to further our study and research on these space crafts where they want to try to back engineer it, and these aliens where we were able to keep them alive. And you know, this is Esaw Edom at his tackiest, man. And he's making up all this stuff, and it's just hilarious, man. And you see from the second video, the dude say he doubt that any 23-year-old could come up with a script that big, a script like that, a script from Hollywood to make something up like that. Well, that's all Esaw Edom do. They come up with scripts, because you can look at the 10 Commandments. They took bits of the Bible and they rewrote it and put it into their image. That's why it tells us in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges. If not who, then who is he? So it's nothing for this man to rewrite whatever he wants and put it into his image or into another image that has nothing to do with the Bible. That's why you see in 10 Commandments they had Moses posed as an Edomite, portraying an Israelite. And now you have this made up entity that they call an alien posing as an angel of the Most High from an alleged crash site from a chariot, which they call a UFO, that they recovered, which they can't recover no chariots from the Most High, man. Most High chariots don't crash. You mean to tell me that they can observe a UFO doing all different types of maneuvers, going in and out of time, but yet this UFO, or how they call it now, they trying to distance themselves, a UAP, somehow crash, and they recover the the beings that were inside it, that were piloting it, as if to make mockery of the Most High's design, saying that the being that's piloting the craft is so dumb that he can't even keep it steady enough to drive it without crashing it here on this earth. You see, that's the what's the word I'm looking for? That's the pride of Esaw Edom, man. He gotta mock the Most High, even when he trying to make it seem like he's giving credit to it by revealing that the chariots are real, but on the other hand, the beings that's piloting it are so dumb that they can't even keep it steady enough without crashing it. And in essence, we caught 4 of them, but 3 of them died, and we was able to maintain one and put him on life support because he had a respiratory, issue with his one heart, that we was able to keep him alive for 4 years. See, this is the nonsense that they feed the media, and most will fall for it. That's why they're going to be able to stage whatever they want to bring in whatever type of ideology they want to push their agenda and to ultimately, go against the Most High. So they can be justified when the Most High come with it through his only begotten son, Yahushua, and the chariots come so they can be justified to wage war. But that's all being set up by the Most High, by prophecy. So yeah, you seen that second video, man. Man, that's just laughable, man. How they could try to mock the Most High creation, his angels, and try to turn them into an alien as some dumb being from an outer dimension that can't, steady the will per se of a technological advance, machinery. That's why you see them always portraying these aliens as dumb or docile. Like if you look at the cartoon show American Dad, the alien they got, which is Roger, who piloted a spacecraft and crashed it here in America. They trying to say that the angels are dumb because they know the angels look like what? Israelites. They take the form of man when they come here on this earth, and we're gonna get a couple of details on that. So now that you have the backdrop on the background of the video that you seen, the second video, let's get into some scriptures. And this is Psalm 68, and let's go down to verse 17. And it reads, "The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels." So these angels are piloting these chariots, which these people call UFOs, and they call the angels aliens. And like I said, they're trying to mock the Most High, but he's not mocked. You see? So Esau Edom is using the analogy of a dumb pilot who can't keep the ship steady and crash landed here on this, on this earth, this planet, as to say that the Most High made a mistake or an error. See, he's throwing shots and jabs at the Most High indirectly. And he thinks because he put it on a big stage that, somehow it'll be more believable. Because before you couldn't see this, on Congress, in front of Congress or on mainstream media. But now he got nothing to lose. He's bringing it all out, and in doing so, he's trying to discredit the word. So he's letting you believe some because he can't deny, people having, mobile devices and feminine chariots of the Most High. He can't deny that. So now he got to scramble and try to make it seem like the pilots of these craft are dumb creatures or dumb beings who are weak, docile, and, just can't get it together. And this is the picture that they paint for you to believe that from the second video we show. But we're going to get into scripture, exactly what the angels are. And they're not aliens created by Esaw Edom. That's his rendering of what he thinks an alien would look like, or an angel that operates the craft of the Most High, the chariot should be. That's him showing once again his pride. And this man's being exposed on every angle, man, even in front of his own people. From the get-go, this man is tacky. So let's go to let's go to a scripture and see what the angels look like. It's Ezekiel 1. And it reads, "The vision of four figures," and this is how the angels look in their natural form. "Now it came to pass in the 30th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river Chabar, that the heavens were open, and I saw visions of the Most High." So he's going to see visions, and he's going to show you how the angels look. "In the 5th day of the month, which was the 5th year of King Jehoiakim's captivity, the word of Yahweh came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of Chaldeans by the river Kabar. And the hand of Yahweh was there upon him. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north. That whirlwind that's that chariot. A great cloud, that's the chariot. And a fire enfolding itself. And that's how one of the descriptions of one of the chariots, which they trying to call a tic-tac, that's how it look. It looks like a tic-tac because it enfolds in itself to the shape where it looks like, if you ever seen a tic-tac, it's like a oblong, long circular shape. Well, that's the fire enfolding itself. That's the spacecraft that they call a UAP. And a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. Okay, so this is the description of the true angels, not that bull crap that Esaw, Edom trying to pitch to the world that they got alien under interrogation, as if the Most High makes mistakes where this creature can't pilot the spacecraft that he was in from another dimension, and somehow he crash landed it here in America. Man, you got to be out your wacky mind, Esaw, Edom, if you think the angel. See, that's like I can't reiterate it enough, man. That's the pride of Esaw, Edom, man. See, he think his spacecraft is so high tech that it can outmaneuver the Most High's chariots, man. As if this alien, who what they deem an alien, but supposed to be, an angel, but it's just a rendering of Esaw Edom's wacky mind of, how some dumb, bugged out looking creature supposed to be that can't, handle a spacecraft of that type of technology. So this is a actual description of how the angels look, not some wacky tacky rendering alien that Esaw Edom came up with his imagination. And this is verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and everyone had 4 faces. And we're going to read what those 4 faces look like, and we're going to go into what they represent. And everyone had 4 wings, right? Because they steady they pilot the craft, which is the chariots. And their feet were straight, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, which is representing cleanness. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass, because they were dark. They were dark men. They were like the color of Judah, like the southern kingdom. They were dark. They had feet like fine brass, burnished brass. That's dark. So they had a dark appearance. They was like so-called the color of a so-called African American. And they had the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces in their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went everyone straight forward. See, these angels don't make mistakes. They can turn and make, unbelievable. You can't put it into measurement. Physics don't apply to the angels, man. That's how Esaw Edom is wacky up top and he's tacky down low, man, because he can't get the scriptures. He could have put something better together than that weak aliens that he used, man. That whole ideology of crash landing, come on, man. The angels don't make mistakes. They defy physics, man. How you gonna crash something? How you gonna crash when you defy physics? See, that's how Esaw Edom tells on himself. He says the craft defies physics, but yet it crash landed. And out of the crash land came these 4 aliens. But these 4 aliens look nothing like the angels that pilot the chariots of the Most High that is written in the Bible. That's how you know this man is scrambling for anything he can put together to deceive the mass. So when he bring out that stage event, he can get as many people to, bite onto it as possible. So let's get back to the scriptures. Verse 8, and it says, and they had the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces in their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went everyone straight forward. As for the likeness of their faces, their 4 had the face of a man and the face of a lion. And on the right side, they 4 had the face of an ox. On the left side, they 4 also had the face of an eagle. And what does that face of the man represents? Intelligence. And what does the face of that lion represents? Bravery. And what does the face of the ox represents? Strength. And what does the face of the eagle represent? Swiftness. So you see, the countenance of the angels is completely different of what the countenance of this Hollywood stage alien propaganda is, as some weak, docile creature who needs help from Esaw, Edom, mad scientists to keep him alive for 4 years. And, even the dude kind of giggled and laughed because he know that, even though he tried to make it seem as legit as possible by going into the stamp that was on the bottom of the video, DNI 27, trying to show how that stamp can only be given to like special clearance. All of this stuff is staged, man. Esaw, Edom, whole army vernacular is staged, man. So what if you use a DNI 27, man? We already know you're going to do whatever you can to come against the word. So it says, as for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man, intelligent, and the face of a lion, bravery, on the right side, and they 4 had the face of an ox, strength, on the left side. They 4 also had the face of an eagle, swiftness. Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies. So you can see the angels are completely and totally opposite of how Esaw, Edom tried to portray them as in the form of an alien, So let's get a scripture, and then we're going to go back and get an enactment, a reenactment of one of these angels in the Bible. So this scripture comes to mind when you want to believe Esaw, Edom, because you think he's so, credible. And then you got to remember the scripture says what? Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And if you don't have a grasp on the Bible, you will never know this. You'll believe everything he tell you, man. And you're going to be set for whatever stage event he has planned for the future. It tells us in Maccabee 3:48, he changed the faces of the judges, man. Job 9:24 said the hand is given to the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges. So you see, he tries to, be deceitful, man. And there's nothing different from the angels. Now he's trying to give the angels a whole new, he's trying to paint the angels in a whole nother light. Got this stage Hollywood prop in a dark room where he has his mad scientists, doing a checkup on him, and has this special monitor device that's monitoring his heart because, he's weak and he's feeble and he couldn't take the entry into the atmosphere, and he got a respiratory, issue, and he died 4 years later. But thanks to Esaw Edom, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, we was able to keep him alive for 4 years, as opposed to his other 3 friends that died upon the landing of the crash site. This is Esau Edom wacky ass mind, man. So that's why we got to keep in these scriptures, man, because it's going to keep us, stable. It tells us wisdom and knowledge to be the stability of our times, man. So here this is Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. This is Isaiah 33:6, and it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So you got to fear Yahweh, man. Stay in these commandments, because you're going to find that this is the only way you're going to get wisdom and stability against Esau Edom's madness. For the longest, he tried to cover up, UFOs, that's just a conspiracy theory. Now that the prophecies are going out and they being fulfilled, and people are filming them on their phones, and you seeing chariots right here and right now in your time, now he got to try to throw something out there as silly as crash landing, alien crash landing. They can't just go in front of Congress and say, oh yeah, the UFOs are real. Now the stage has to be set for the lady to ask him, did you recover any kind of biological, material that was non-human? And then he goes into, yes, I can't say it in front of here, but I can talk to you, off records. And then you see the video that we played in the second clip. The non-biological specimen that they recovered that was piloting the craft that crash landed was a so-called alien, which is Esau Edom's shot at trying to say that the angels are incompetent. So we went over the description of how the angel looked. Now let's get when the angel comes in front of a man and he presents himself in the form of a man. And let's go there and let's read that. This is Judges. This is Judges 13. And let's start at I'm just going to read a couple of verses out of here. Let's start at 16. And the angel of Yahweh said unto Manoah, though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread. And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto Yahweh. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of Yahweh, because the angel that Manoah was talking to was in the form of a man. See, when they come and speak, they can come and, present themselves as a man, as not to, scare the person off who they bringing the message to from the Most High, Yahweh. So this angel that came to Manoah, he was in the form of a man, but we're going to get another, description of when he came not as a man. So this says, and the angel of Yahweh said unto Manoah, though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread. And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto Yahweh. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of Yahweh, because he appeared to him as a regular man. But we read in Ezekiel how he looks, how the angel looks when they're in their true form. So we're going to get an accountment of that too. Because the angel came and spoke to Zacharias, John the Baptist's father. We're going to get that accountment too. So it says, and Manoah said unto the angel of Yahweh, what is thy name? That when thy sayings come to pass, we may do thee honor. And the angel of Yahweh said unto him, why askest thou thus? Why askest thou thus after my name, seeing it is a secret? So here's the angel telling Manoah, it's a secret. You don't need to know my name. All right, so this is one enactment of the angel presenting itself to man in the form of a man, so that, they don't frighten him. Now we're going to get another enactment of when the angel comes, as we read in Ezekiel. So let's go to Luke 1, because we see both. None of these are an accurate depiction of the lie that Esaw, Edom, is building up to set forth and give to the world as an alien. Just like when you do the research and you look into the word, into the truth, and you see that the so-called Jesus that they gave us has nothing to do with the Jesus that the world, that the world ignorantly calls Jesus, but those of us in the truth know as Yahweh Shai looks like in the Bible. See, when you read, you get wisdom and stability. You're not ignorant of Satan's devices, his lies, because he's going to give them to you. And if you don't do the research or have anybody to point you in the right direction, you're going to fall for all the lies that he gives to you, because he can mix it in with some resemblance of the truth. Okay, so let's go down to this is Luke 1. Let's go to verse 8. And we're going to pick up from there. And it reads, and it came to pass that while he executed the priest's office before the Most High in the order of his course, according to the custom of the priest's office, his lot was to burn incense when he went into the temple of the Lord. And the whole multitude of the people were praying without at the time of incense. And there appeared unto him an angel of the Lord standing on the right side of the altar of incense. So here's another account, an encounter with the angel of the Lord. And when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him, because he saw him in his true form that we read in Ezekiel 1. He didn't come as he came to Manoah in the form of a man. See, Manoah wanted to know who he was, because he seen him as a man and he wanted to know his name. So when that prophecy came to pass, he could give him credit. But the angel said, why does that need to know thy name? Give praises to the Most High, Yahweh. So this is in Luke 1. Let's pick up. And it says, this is Luke 1:11. And there appeared unto him an angel of the Lord standing on the right side of the altar of incense. And when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him. But the angel said unto him, fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John, and thou shalt have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth. For he shall be great in the sight of the Lord, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink. This is that Nazarite vow that John took in Samson. And he shall be filled with the Holy Ghost, which is the Holy Spirit, even from his mother's womb. And that's how people get confused when they say Mary was found with the Holy Spirit, misinterpreting it as the Holy Spirit impregnated Mary, and out came Jesus. They err not knowing the scriptures. She was found with the Holy Spirit, meaning the Holy Spirit was upon her, the womb. But don't get it twisted. Yahushua was fashioned from the seed of man. So it says, and he should go before him in the spirit and power of Elias, which is Elijah, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord. And that people is the elect, and the Lord is Yahushua. And Zacharias said unto the angel, whereby shall I know this? For I am an old man, and my wife well stricken in years. And the angel answering said unto him, I am Gabriel. So the angel gave him his name. That stand in the presence of the Most High, and am sent to speak unto thee, and to shew thee these glad tidings. Verse 20, and it reads, and behold, thou shalt be dumb, and not able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed, because thou believest not my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season. So the angel Gabriel told Zacharias, since you don't believe, I'm going to give you a sign. I'm going to make you dumb and not able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed, and then you're going to know. Since you question how can the Most High do it at this age in my life? I'm this old and my wife is old. So now he's going to give him a sign. So he's going to know. Okay? So you see, the angels are nowhere near the incompetence that Esaw Edom tries to portray them as being an alien who can't maneuver a spacecraft that they try to propagate as a technology that's too advanced for the creature that's driving it or piloting it, but somehow, some way they can back engineer it and they can take it apart and figure out how to operate it and use it. And now they have a fair fight, when the invasion and the chariots come to rescue us and to bring us salvation here, they're going to have somehow, some way, an opportunity, because the angels couldn't pilot it, who they call the aliens, but now our scientists can back engineer it, and we can figure out how to, how it works at least, and we can have, some type of weapon that can disarm it when Yahushua comes back to deliver his elect, And let's get that, because he's coming back in that cloud. And that cloud that he's coming back in is that chariot. Let's go there and get that. Let's go there and get that scripture, and then we're going to probably close out after that. This is Acts 1. And let's go down to 9, the ascension. This is Acts 1 and 9. And it reads, and when he had spoken these things, Yahushua, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And what is that cloud? That's the chariot of the Most High. We read that in Psalm 68:17, who the world calls UFOs, and now they reclassified it as UAP. Let me get that definition so I can figure out what because they trying to throw as many people off as possible. Nobody know what a UAP is. People for years is calling them UFOs. Now we found out that they the chariots of the Most High. They want to try to reclassify it and call it something else. So let's get the definition of a UAP. Give me a second, let me look that up. UAP. Internet don't want to work. that's remarkable. All of a sudden it don't want to work now, you know. Just bear with me. UAP. I know it's unidentified aerial, maybe it's phenomenon. We're gonna go with unidentified aerial phenomenon, you know, because we can't figure out. For the longest, we knew a UFO was an unidentified flying object. You know, now they're trying to reclassify it to throw people off so they don't know what's going on. So a UAP has to be an unidentified, you know, unidentified aerial phenomenon. And that's what it is, an unidentified aerial phenomenon. So Esaw Edom has switched up the word again, you know. That's what he does, man. He's tacky like that. Just when you get used to something, he'll throw a wrench, a monkey wrench in the plan so you won't believe, so he could, you know, do whatever he needs to do. But let's get back to the scripture. This is Acts 1, and we picked up at 9, the ascension, and it reads, Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And we know that cloud is a chariot. And while they looked steadfastly towards heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel. And we know those men are angels. Not no rickshaw alien that Esaw Edom done, you know, conjured up and said that they capture or recover at a crash site because the alien was too incompetent to drive the spacecraft that he was, you know, driving from another galaxy, that somehow he done traveled light years away and made it here to this planet, and now all of a sudden he can't adjust to the climate or whatever, and he crashes the spacecraft into some desert out there in Nevada, wherever, and they recover the spacecraft, and along with the spacecraft, 4 aliens. I mean, come on, man. That only works in the movies, man. That ain't gonna work in the truth, man, because we know, like we read in Isaiah 33, wisdom and knowledge to be the stability of our times, man. We're not falling for his tricks, you know. 2 Corinthians 2:11, we are not ignorant of your devices, Satan. So verse 10, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So we know he's coming back in that spaceship, that UFO, but the chariots of the Most High, you know. However Esaw Edom want to label it, UFO, spaceship, UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. We know it as the chariots and the truth, and we know how Yahushua left and ascended up in the cloud. He's coming back. When he break open those clouds, he's coming back in that chariot, man. You know, and all eyes should see him. Those that pierced him too. All right, so, you know, this was brought to you by Esaw Edom's tacky, his wacky, tacky attempt to try to discredit the chariots of the Most High, and not only that, the angels that are inside the chariots of the Most High that we read in Psalm 68 and 17. You know, and somehow, some way they recovered the UFO, the UAB and its inhabitants, which are the aliens, and now they were able to take apart the UFO or the UAB, and they were able to, monitor the vitals of the being that were inside the spacecraft that was piloting it. I mean, come on, man. You can get away with that and sell it as a blockbuster Hollywood summer movie, but you're not finna try to sell that to the people. Well, you can sell it to the people, but you're not finna give it to the elect that knows the truth. We know what's going on, man. So you got to go back to the drawing boards and try again. So let's go ahead and close out in 1 Peter. Let's take it from there. 1 Peter 5:8. And it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And if he got to put his own on a stage to make you believe throughout the years that the Congress is who you need to turn to validate any form of truth, because they're backed by the government and the government went lie to you, and this whistleblower had to take an oath on the Bible when we know that Esaw, Edom don't even uphold the Bible, so he don't care about lying on the Bible. For one, it wasn't given to him, okay? So it's nothing to him to make up a lie, the accuser of our brethren, So if he can get anyone to believe what he's saying through his magic, his television, broadcasting it worldwide, then he's gonna get as many as he can. Because ultimately, they pushing an agenda, and they want to bring forth that agenda by any means necessary. And if it has to be to pump fear and mass hysteria throughout the public, then by all means necessary, they're going to use whatever force they can. But we know the Most High didn't give us a spirit of fear, okay? So let's read that again, 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant. Don't buy into this man's nonsense, even if he put it on a great or grander scale, as opposed as as similar to like the Congress. So now they put it in the Congress, or they put it on TV live in Congress. They must be telling the truth. Just for them to entertain the thought, it must be some validity behind these men, word that's speaking on the chariots, or what they call a UFO, now reclassified as a UAP. It must be some type of validity behind they claims, because the Congress wouldn't have entertained any one of them if they couldn't find, some type of truthness after doing extensive research. No, they can't deny it, because the truth is coming out full throttle. And not only that, people are seeing it firsthand, so now they can't hide it and put it in the dark. As it tells us in St. Luke 8:17, for nothing is secret that should not be made manifest, neither anything here that should not be known to come abroad. Now the word is coming abroad, and they can't do nothing about it. They can't keep it, compressed anymore. So they got to try to shake things up. Okay, it's out there. This is they thought. Okay, it's out there. The chariots are real. People have seen it. Not only have they seen it prior to, they can film and record it, so people can see it. So now we have to get ahead of that, and we have to come up with a story that that somehow these technological devices have crashed, and we recover the non-human biological species that were inside it. See, if you're not sober and vigilant, you can very well fall for that. They they pitching you a Hollywood movie, man. That's all they doing. They pitching you a Hollywood movie. Invasion of the UFOs, or something like that, And if you get drunk off their philosophy, you very well much can fall right into their hands. You know, that's why it says, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. You know, so with that being said, hopefully somebody took something away from that. You know, if it be the Lord's will, till next time, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom.